Hey world, today I'm going to be showing you guys, actually this is my first iPod tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to put notes on your iPod. You know, like, let's come up with the perfect scenario for this. Let's say that, you have to memorize this, like, speech at school. Let's say you have to memorize, I don't know, the intro to the Declaration of Independence, or the whole Declaration of Independence works too, I guess. Well, what you can do is you can just simply go in and you can put the intro to the Declaration of Independence on your iPod, and you can, if you take your iPod everywhere you go, like, you know, if you're just in love with it, maybe like when you're in the car, or if you're, you know, on a trip, which is also being in a car, or if you're just bored and you don't feel like listening to music and you just want to, you know, hold your iPod or something, then you can just go in and look at it through your iPod. So, without further ado, let's look at what notes look like on the iPod Nano. So, here we go, let's get started. Okay, so, let's just get right into this. You get to your notes on your iPod, if you can open it. Okay, there you go. Ta-da! What you want to do is you want to go down to Extras, and click on Notes, and there we are, we're in our Notes folder. This here is an example that I forgot to delete from the last take, but if we go down to School Notes, here's just an example. For school, we have to memorize these Bible verses, because we go to a classical education school, and they teach Bible there, so, you know, yeah. Sorry if my camera strap gets in the way of the video, which it almost did. It's kind of blurry. There you go. To operate it, you just use a scroll wheel, like this, you know, like you do everything on the iPod. You guys can see my thumb moving down there at the bottom. See, there you go. There you guys go. Alright, so that's how you work it. That's how you work it. And, oops, let's actually go back to the main menu. So that's how you work notes. Sorry about that. Okay. Now, let's say that, you don't have a second generation anymore. You've upgraded to the third generation, and then you upgrade to the fourth generation, or something like that. Or you have an iPod Classic. Well, guys, guess what? iPod Nano first generation. Don't worry, it still works. And it works the exact same way on the fourth generation. I showed my sister how to do it. I'll just go ahead and show you guys what it looks like on this. Again, just go to your Extras, and you're going to click on Notes. Okay, sorry about that. That was way out of focus. Going to click on Notes. Okay, there you go. Wow! That was odd. I think that was a glitch we got on there. Did you see that? I clicked on it and it brought up this white screen. Okay, we just click here. And, here we go. This is how notes work on here. It works the exact same way. Now, I do not know why this is the way it is on the Nano 4th generation, but the animation when you do it is not that smooth. Look, see how it's kind of choppy? It's kind of choppy. Why that is, I really don't know, but it still works the exact same way on the Nano 4th generation. And again, I did not want to do that. I wanted to do this. So yeah. We're not going to use this, we're just going to use this one, because this is the family iPod, and I feel that I have permission to use it without, you know, screwing up my sister. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back on its dock, and then we'll get right into the tutorial. So here we go. Okay, so things you're going to need to do this, obviously, is an iPod, a cable to connect it to the computer, and you're going to need a computer, obviously. So let's get straight into this. What you're going to do, first step, I've already got a cable plug in the computer, so it saves a little bit of time. You can take the iPod, and very simply, plug it in. And when you do, let's see, iTunes should show up. Let's give it just a little bit of time. Got this nick on my screen. Wow. I'm talking about my camera, but here's iTunes. So let's get right into this. Okay, so once you are in iTunes,
Love that cover flow. What you can do is now you're just going to click on your device. And now what you're going to do is here's your device's main page. Look down at the options section. You're going to see a series of check marks. You want to check the very bottom one which says enable disk use. And when you check it, this warning message will pop up. Enabling the iPod for disk use requires manually ejecting the iPod before each disconnect, even when automatically syncing music. Just click OK. And then click on apply down here in the lower right hand corner. And it'll sync the changes in settings to your iPod. And basically what you've just done is you basically just turned your iPod into a flash drive. Okay, now you can basically use your iPod with your computer as you would a flash drive. So let's go ahead and minimize iTunes, and we're going to go into Start. We're going to go in My Computer. Now Mac users, I think the iPod will already just automatically appear on your desktop after you do that. So just double click on your iPod. It should have the same name as your iPod. So just go ahead and double click that, and you'll be brought into this menu where you will have these you should have 3 or 4 folders show up depending on what kind of iPod you have. You're just going to double click on the one that says Notes, and here we are. Now, real quickly, we're just going to jump right into deleting. If you want to delete a note or a menu, what you do is you just right click it, just click on delete, and then hit yes, just like you would on Windows. So these folders here are just some menus that I've created. Here's the one I showed you actually in the example. Okay, so to create a new menu, what you do is you right click, or you can go up here in File, and then you click on New, and then you click Folder, and you just name it whatever you want. YouTube Notes Example Menu. Yay. So just go ahead and open it. That's a really long name for a note or a menu, but you know what? And when you're in your menu, or you can just go ahead and do it straight inside of the notes folder. So right click anywhere, go in New, click on Text Document. Now you don't want to do any of this fancy smancy stuff like Microsoft Office Word or WordPad or any other type of word processor you have. You want to use the very basic Notepad for this, because it's the only thing the iPod can read. It's the only thing it can understand. If you use anything else that's fancier, it'll show up as just a bunch of code when you open it. Now let's name it To Do. Okay, so when you're done with that, just open it up by double clicking it, and you can start typing your note. I'll do that right now. Okay, once you've done typing in your note, what you want to do is you're going to go up here and you're going to just close out. A dialog box will come up. It'll ask you to confirm if you want to save it. Just click on yes, and your note is saved on your iPod. Now, to eject your iPod, which is what iTunes dialog box is talking about when we enable disk use, it said we have to manually disconnect it. Well, I'll show you. There are several ways to do this. One is go in iTunes, click on the eject button. Okay, that works perfectly fine. Another way you could do it is just disable disk use by unchecking that check, and it'll work like that. Let's actually go ahead and replug this back in. And then the other way you could do it is through Windows. You just right click your iPod in My Computer and then click on eject, and it'll eject it just the same way that I just did with iTunes. So let's go in and disable disk use by just unchecking this check, clicking on apply, and it'll sync that changes to your settings to your iPod, and your iPod is now back to normal. And once you're done with that, you can now disconnect the iPod. Ba-boom. Okay, so
let's go back into Notes. Actually, I have this main menu shortcut on here, and we'll just use it like this. Alright, here's what I did. YouTube Notes Example menu. YouTube Notes Example. It does that because it's too long to see. And then todo.txt. This is the note we created. And here it is. See if I can make it. 1, go to store. 2, get pie mix. 3, go home. 4, make pie. 5, eat pie. And 6, burp in satisfaction. So, that's the way that works. Hopefully this is some sort of a benefit to you guys. If it wasn't, then let me know. If it was, let me know. And if you're interested in knowing how to do something else, let's see, what else do I know how to do? I know how to import contacts. I know how to import calendars. I also know how to put photos on here. And that's basically it. So, if you're interested in any of those, then just tell me. And I'll look into making a tutorial for those. So, seriously guys, thanks for watching. And goodbye.